Okay, there it is, the Coleman furnace. We're giving a second round of trying to figure out how to make it work. So I've done a little bit of disassembly. I'm going to show you guys what I found out. If you ever are in a camper or have a very old furnace and are trying to figure out how to get the pilot to work properly. I do have the gas turned off right now at the gas tanks, so there's no danger of the propane catching on fire. And after I've disassembled it, I think the main thing I found out is that at the end of that last video, that what I was calling the craziness is because I was lighting there were little holes that are supposed to let air come into the pilot tube and go up and supply air to the fire of the pilot at the top. So you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about in just a second here. So like I said, I've disassembled it a fair bit, and this is the pilot light, and this is the thermocouple sensor that I was talking about before. Now, when I first pulled it out, I was like, what the heck? There's no pilot, because this isn't what you usually see. This is really old, and usually there's like a hole and a pointy thing that comes out to the hole there. That's not the case in this one. There's the hole. You can barely see it. There it is. Now you can see it real clear. That is the hole that is supposed to be where the pilot flame is. And that's pretty typical, that the pilot flame is pointed right at the thermocouple. Well, let me back up one step and just show you what the disassembly is for this thing. It's not that hard. You just have to look at it for a while and figure it out. Now, the two holes that I've been talking about that are supposed to draw air in are behind this silver plate, and they're on the tube right back there. So for disassembly, you've got to take the plate off, unscrew that screw, unscrew this screw, the plate does not come off that easily, but it just takes a little bit of jiggling. There we go. And then you loosen this nut that connects the tube to the pilot thermocouple unit. You've got to use a proper tool to do that, of course, because it was screwed on with the proper tool. And a little bit of WD-40 silicone, or WD-40, goes a long way. So once that falls off, this will lift up pretty easily. See that? Okay. And then the whole thing slides out, and you can see what I was showing you a minute ago. I want to show you the aeration holes. They really had me confused at first, because that's what was causing the fire earlier. You can see one of the holes right there. You can barely see it, and I'm not probably going to be able to give you a better view of it because of the shadow, but you can see it in there. It's right here. There's another one on this side, which you probably won't be able to see, but they're supposed to let air draw in through there and go up to supply air to this in case there's not enough air inside the chamber. I don't know. I might replace this entire pilot and thermocouple assembly, but you know what, I probably won't. And here's the thing, this is just a really hard to light pilot, because you have to light this hole that's all the way not on this, it's inside here, you have to light it back up in there from probably from this side. But if you're coming from this side, your lighter, the flame of the lighter, you know, it has to get there to light the gas. Or if you're coming from this side, from under here, you got to get close enough so that it lights that little hole. The gas, of course, the gas is going to be all around here when you turn it on. But the problem that I was encountering initially was, you know, I was lighting it, and then the gas that was coming out of what is supposed to be the aeration holes was igniting. So, pretty tough thing to get this lit without getting those lit. And there it is. That's the whole thing. I'm gonna put it back together. I'm gonna give it another try. I've got the adjuster for the flow of gas tamped down like to the minimum. And now that I'm aware of those little air holes catching on fire like the craziness in the last video, I'm going to do my best to avoid igniting those. And hopefully if I can ignite the pilot at the top, it'll start sucking the air. I mean, I just don't see how this works. I mean, I know it does because Coleman didn't play around. They made good equipment. But what's confusing me is just, you know, there's gas coming out of those aeration holes as soon as you try to start lighting this thing. And I've got to get the top one to light without letting and start sucking up air and pull the air through to not light the two little holes at the bottom. Well, we'll see how it goes. And it's all behind a metal shield that you can't get to without sticking your lighter way up in there. So let me give it another try. Okay, I'm trying it now. I've got it where I think is the right spot, and Bud told me you need a little mirror to do this, so maybe this is what he was talking about. I'm letting the cell phone be my mirror. That's it. So I don't want the gas that's coming out of the aeration holes to ignite, and throwing the camera into this mix is just too many things. So I'm going to stop this video and keep trying safely. Well, my mind's made up, and I'm not going to try to light this thing again until I've replaced the pilot orifice and thermocouple. I even try to go around the design of the unit and put tape over those two little aeration holes, but they just, the flame ignites below where the pilot is. There must be something that I'm doing wrong, or it's gotten old and the connections are leaky. I don't know what it is, but I think I'm definitely going to replace the pilot orifice, that top part that I can take right off. And I ain't trying this again.